We are here with Sterling Brown. First of all, American Fiction, incredible. You did an incredible job. The entire cast, you guys have so much range. We'll get into that later.
Okay.
But as Monk's brother, your character adds humor and sheds a light on often overlooked communities, like the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
How did you prepare to play Clifford?
I think more than anything, well, there's a few things. I have people in my family who are gay. I have friends who are gay, whom I love. And I say that because coming from St. Louis, Missouri, which can be a deeply homophobic place, and the ability to accept all people in all walks of life is not something that is easily stepped into. I think that I had enough conversations with people who weren't able to share their authentic selves with their family and felt that heartbreak, that I was like, okay, this is something that I can understand to a certain extent. And then he's also a man who just sort of blew up his life. The next part is life experience is one part of an actor's toolbox, but their biggest tool is the ability to say, what if? The actor's imagination. And if I had to blow up my life of 20 years with 2 children and a wife or whatnot, because I needed to actually be happy, and I knew I couldn't find that in this particular situation, you lose a lot.
Yeah.
Kids, you gay, straight, whatever you are, your kids are your kids.
Yeah.
And to be separate from them, to have them feel a certain way about you hurts, right? I've also talked to divorced people, and I know how messy life can be, because you're hurting and you're looking to sort of fill a void for a minute until you sort of settle down and be like, all right, I can't be running these streets all the time. So we find Cliff thoroughly in these streets, right? And it's gonna be messy and it's gonna look sort of off for a while, but he's doing it intentionally because he doesn't want to cover himself anymore. He wants to be the full Cliff, right? And the folks can't deal with that, like, because sometimes you feel like Monk can't deal with that. Like, Monk can kiss my ass.
Right.
Because Monk is sort of reminding me of my dad and my mom and their sort of lack of acceptance. And I'm like, I'm not here for that. And it's interesting because you get a chance to see these 2 brothers who have been outside of each other's lives for such a long time sort of find their way back to each other. And that makes me feel good.
It does. It was amazing to watch. As an artist, you're continuing to evolve. So how do you feel like you're evolving as an actor? And how do you feel like you're evolving as a husband and a family man?
Okay, Angie B. As an actor, I feel like there are things that I thought that I couldn't do 20 years ago that I find sort of easy to do now. I think like sort of my idea of masculinity and how I had to present myself was probably much more narrow 20 years ago. I was afraid of what people may say or what think or what not. But now all I care is about just loving people.
Wow.
And I think I get a chance to love people through who I portray. And it makes me feel good. And then, people are going to say what they say. People snipe it like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter because I know in my own way I'm doing what God put me here to do, right? So that feels good. As a dad, I'm pretty solid. I'm not gonna front. Like it's the easiest role that I have.
Wow.
Because they're just 2 big vessels that are receptive of all the love that I give them, right? This past weekend, I almost teared up. Hold on. My son made it to the playoffs in his flag football league, and they were undefeated. And they lost their game in the playoffs 12-6. And he was so heartbroken. And I was so happy to just be able to hug him. Like, you can't keep them from experiencing the ups and downs of life as much as parents would like to,
Right.
but you can just be there with them when they feel it. You know what I mean? And tell them that, like, I've been there, big dog, I understand. You need a hug? And they say, yeah. So that one I feel good about. I also feel good about giving them the ability to grow up. Sometimes parents have a tendency to sort of lock you into a particular age and always treat you in that way. I think I'm killing the game. I'm not like, don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, just keep that between us. But like, I think I'm a good dad. As a husband, we gotta go. As a husband, I'm still figuring that one out.
Yeah, it's okay.
Ask the wife, she'll tell you. Sometimes I'm killing it. Sometimes there's room to grow. but we stay in communication with each other and we keep saying yes to each other. And as long as you keep doing that, you're gonna be all right. Yeah.
Thank you so much. You're incredible. I appreciate you. Thank you.